YouTube? It's your boy Jarrell coming to you from Colossal Boxing Talk, and I'm here to give you my post-fight thoughts on last night's Showtime main event between Danny Swift, Garcia, and Mauricio Herrera. Going into that fight, I predicted a victory for Garcia via 10th round KO. I thought that him coming off an impressive 2013 campaign with big victories over Zab Judah and an impressive victory over Lucas the Machine Matisse this past September would, catapult him into the top 10 pound for pound rankings this year. I thought with his, that would lead to, with his momentum from, last year, it would, carry over into 2014 and into his fight with Mauricio Herrera. But that was not the case last night, as we all saw. Danny Garcia simply lost that fight. I scored it 115-113 for Herrera. He was the more aggressive fighter. He threw more punches. He landed more punches, and he just was the better man last night. He out hustled Garcia. Whenever in the clinch, he would throw punches. He would show that he was active and he was trying to, land punches and he was just being active. His jab was a big key. He used it, he jabbed the crap out of Garcia's midsection and he jabbed him the crap out of his head. He snapped his head back a couple of times with the jab. He also had success with his right hand at times. Garcia would not listen to the instructions given to him by his father, Angel Garcia, when he told him to bend his knees in the clinch to get better leverage and be better positioned to, have success, fight on the inside, he didn't listen. We all know that Danny Garcia, has a tremendous left hook and he loves to throw that punch. He wasn't successful with that punch in this fight. He had some moments, but not enough of them. Herrera would just simply go underneath the left hook, and he would roll the right hand when Garcia would look to throw that punch. Herrera was very good defensively. He made Garcia miss with the big shots, more so than you would believe if you go back and watch the fight. Of course, Garcia landed some big shots, and he won his fair share of rounds. It was a close fight. No one's disputing that, but it was a close fight that should have went to Herrera. He was just a better fighter last night. He stuck to his game plan. He implemented it, almost to a T, and he should have been given the nod, and he should be now the, lineal 140-pound title holder or world champion. But Garcia was fighting in front of his home crowd, even though he's born and raised in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. His family is of Puerto Rican descent, and he's a Puerto Rican, an American-born Puerto Rican, but a Puerto Rican nonetheless. And it was his first fight in Puerto Rico. The crowd was, chanting his name early in the fight, in the middle rounds, trying to get him some extra motivation to, perform better and pull out the fight, but that didn't happen. And open scoring is bullshit. I posted that on Facebook last night. Open scoring is worthless, is useless. Same thing happened in the Canelo Alvarez Austin Trout fight. We all know that fight was close, but once you hear those scores as a fan, as a trainer, as a fighter that's winning, and as a fighter that's losing, it drains the energy out of the fighter that is in a close fight, but hears that he's down 4 rounds to 2 or whatever, when that's clearly not the case. And Garcia knew that he was gonna win that fight. Once two judges had him up 78-74, if I'm not mistaken, and Paulie Malignaggi, was right. What fights were they watching? That was a close fight that Herrera deserved better from those two judges that scored, that had him losing the fight 116, 112. That was a BS scorecard. They know it. Puerto Rican fans know it. Golden Boy, Danny Garcia, his daddy, everyone knows that that was a, a horrible job done by those two judges. Um, like I said, Herrera exposed some things that Garcia has to work on. He has to be able to adapt. He has to listen to his corner. He has to focus. He has to be more versatile. He cannot just always depend on the left hook. He needs to, you know, work on things, and hopefully his next fight, which will be in Puerto Rico, according to Richard Schaefer, as reported by ESPN's Dan Rayfield, will be in Puerto Rico. So, you know, going back to the drawing board, he needs to, you know, make improvements, learn to make adjustments, learn to focus, and and step it up when faced with adversity against opponents he should, easily defeat. He fights up to his competition, as you see against Lucas Matisse and Kendall Holt, Zab Judah. He fights down to the competition, as you seen with and Amir Khan. In a fight he was an underdog in, but he fights down to competition. Example like last night, Mauricio Herrera, not taking anything away from him, but Garcia has to be better than last night's effort if he wants to make noise at 147. Those are just my post-fight thoughts on the Danny Garcia Mauricio Herrera fight last night. Again, Mauricio Herrera won that fight on my card, 115, 113. But like, comment, and subscribe to Colossal Boxing Talk. Comment in the comment section. Tell me what you thought about the fight. How did you score it? And just give us feedback. Subscribe. Also like our page on Facebook at Colossal Boxing Talk. Shout out to Miguel Torres and CJ, Goodfella King, two new members of Colossal Boxing Talk. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.